Hi guys, in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to turn Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2 into a horror game through the power of mods. Kinda. Because let's be honest, this is a game where plants fight zombies, and no matter how hard you try, that can only be so scary. I mean, look at them, they're just so adorable. Well, maybe not that one. Anyway, whilst we might not be able to recreate the Chainsaw Massacre in PvZ, what I am going to do is take you through a selection of the finest Halloween themed mods the community has to offer to make your game as spooktacular as possible. 10 out of these 11 mods can be used at the same time, I'll explain later in the video, and consist of graphical, cosmetic and character mods guaranteed to keep you entertained this Halloween. So let's get started. Now of course the first thing to do to make everything immediately feel scarier is to turn off the lights. In the backyard, that is. This first mod is simply called the Nightmod by Petrifying, and it does exactly what you expect it to. It plunges the backyard into eternal darkness and never-ending night. Baron Von Bats is gonna love it. So that's the backyard sorted out. However, we still need to address the PvP maps, and that's where the next mod, again from Petrifying, comes into play. The second mod on this list is none other than Vivid Warfare, one of, if not the best graphical mods for Garden Warfare 2. Essentially, this mod overhauls the lighting and textures of the environments to not only enhance them, but also make them feel more in tune with the previous Garden Warfare game. As well as this, the mod also affects the multiplayer maps, with some of them changing the time of day to, well, night. A good example of this is the Z-Tech Factory. Now there are a couple of different versions of the mod to accommodate to your tastes. There is the True Night version, which will give you optimum spookiness, or if you find it too dark you can use the Brighter Night version or even default vanilla darkness if you like. Now the mod doesn't turn all maps into night, so if you're a vampire lord and not satisfied by that pitiful level of darkness, there are 3 other additional mods that change even more of the maps. We have Boney Island Night by Breakfast Brains 2, Time Park Night by Zapping TNT and Breakfast Brains 2, and Walnut Hills Night by Mr. JT. So that's the maps and environment sorted out. Now let's turn our attention to the characters and making them fit into this horror makeover. Next on our list is the PvZ Garden Warfare 2 Horror Edition mod by Madvwastaken. So this mod takes a whole bunch of our favourite characters and adjusts their textures to look a bit darker and more gruesome. Both plants and zombies have been given this demented overhaul, desaturating their outfits and adding horrifying details such as red and bloodshot eyes. Unfortunately, it doesn't affect all characters, but pretty much all of the zombies' textures have been changed and a few of the plants. I'd say the plants probably look better despite there being less of them. The zombies are pretty much just the same with darker colours and buggier eyes. There's also texture changes to goats and other things. Continuing with our characters but moving over to the cosmetics, we have the Lawn of Doom 2020 Part 1 mod by GabrielOflTM that adds in a variety of Lawn of Doom themed items that you may recognise from other games in the franchise. This includes stuff like the Insecto Brains and P of Valiant's headwear from Battle for Neighborville. This mod adds quite a lot of cool things, but unfortunately there isn't a breakdown of exactly everything that's added, but just know there's a bunch of really great Halloween costumes your characters can choose from to go trick-or-treating with. Now that we've got our characters all geared up, it only seems fair that we give the heroes and other AI characters some costumes too. That's where the Halloween Party mod by Disco Chomper Enjoyer comes into play. This is going to change up the outfits of the other AI in your game, which you will be playing against, as we know using mods online is a no-no, so that they use a ton of the in-game Halloween assets during combat. All characters have received this adjustment, and I have to say it looks really awesome to see everyone running around wearing spooky hats and accessories. For me, this mod made quite a significant impact on making the game feel more Halloweenified, which is definitely a word. So that's both the environment and the character aesthetic dealt with. However, you are now required to make a decision when it comes to new Halloween character variants. The 2 mods I'm about to discuss are both compatible with all of the previous mods, but sadly are not compatible with each other, meaning you are going to have to choose one or the other. When it comes to Halloween characters, both mods have just 2, so you've just got to work out which ones you like the most. First on the list is the Lawn of Doom character pack by GabrielOflTM, adding just 2 characters, but both are Halloween themed. We have the Skelly Soldier, a foot soldier variant that has clearly been watching too many Spider-Man villains. This guy can fire exploding pumpkins that pack a punch and also push both plants and zombies around. The second character is Ghoul Rose, which is like a vampire rose, I suppose. This character has very little health, but with each successful hit, she will drain the life from her enemies. The other mod to choose from is the Loads of Variants mod by the Purple Zombie that adds an eye-watering 80 plus new variants into the game. Among this library's worth of characters, again lies just 2 Halloween ones. First up is Candy Corn, who shoots sticky candy at the zombies, which explode after a few seconds. Then there's Haunted Oak, which has a really awesome mechanic. He shoots a big scary laser, and with each vanquish it will extract a zombie soul, which if collected adds a short buff. The buff also changes depending on which type of zombie you vanquish. The only downside to this mod is that the variants don't come with any custom visuals, but this can be fixed by using in-game cosmetics, plus you do get loads of other characters to play with as well. So the choice is yours. There was also another mod I had planned to cover called Morph Mod Halloween by Mr. PvZ Gamer, which had tons of Halloween characters, but unfortunately I couldn't get it to work. So now that you've got this Halloween horror extravaganza ready to go, you're going to want to have a big old spooky monster to go and hunt down. The final mod on my list is the highly recommended Private Play Remastered by Breakfast Brains 2. This mod basically expands the private play options to allow you to access modes and maps you'd typically have to wait to appear in the portal to play. This includes things like Capture the Taco and the Walnut Hills map. However, the other exciting thing is that it allows you to access boss hunts whenever you like. Whether it's Spooky Squash or the Nomus Brothers, this mod has you covered. Just load up private play and you're good to go. The final thing I want to mention is installation and load order. I won't go through the whole process of these, as I have done a guide on how to install Garden Warfare 2 mods, the link is on screen now, but all of these mods are installed in the typical way. There's nothing you have to do specifically to install these, there's no options or anything like that on any of the mods. The only thing I will show you though is the load order, as this sometimes can affect the compatibility when you use multiple mods together. Here's the order I have placed them in the Frosty Mod Manager. I'm not a modding pro, so this might not be the optimum load order, but it certainly allows the mods to work together. Just remember, the 2 character variant mods can't be installed together, you just need to pick one or the other. Anyway guys, there you go, that's how you can turn Garden Warfare 2 into a horror game, kinda. As usual, let me know your thoughts on this video in the comments below, but other than that, don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons, turn on notifications, and if you want to support my channel further, check out my Patreon page by clicking on screen now or through the link in the description. Okay, thanks guys, bye.